You could tell me your name and what your profession is in regards to arts.
Okay, my name. That's it. Okay, my name is Gisela Romero. I am a visual artist. What I do is draw. I make drawings with any kind of material and in every surface. I make very small drawings and I make very big drawings. I like all the lines that I see, all the forms that I see everywhere, especially in nature, of course, which is the first and the most important teacher that we have. And everything is in nature, everything that we can find, all the colors, all the forms, all the lines. And I use them to make my own drawings, to make my own constructions or designs.
How would you say you started on your artistic path?
Well, my mother said that I was drawing since I was a very, very, very little girl. And then what I did in the formal path was to go first, because we didn't have, in Caracas, we didn't have an art institution. We had a graphic design institution at that time. So I went to a graphic design art school first, and then I came to the United States to make illustration in California, in CCAC. Now it's CCA, yeah. And then I went to Caracas and I worked in a newspaper as an illustrator in El Diario de Caracas for 2 years. And then I decided to come here because I wanted to, to be an illustrator is a different world, and to be a visual artist is another completely different world. So I wanted to be more in the visual arts, and I came to New York to Pratt Institute, and I made the MFA in printmaking.
Printmaking, I love printmaking.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I started to make a lot of drawings for the intaglio things and litho, and I became more involved in drawings. So, of course, I made a lot of graphic things, but then I went to Caracas, and it was very difficult. I didn't have the equipment, so I started to just make my drawings and have them not in the process of multiplying them, but have original ones.
Right. Not a printmaking. And did you have a market to sell them, or was that a goal was to monetize the art, or was that not important?
Yeah, well, it wasn't important because you make what you do. You do what you do. This is something that I make drawings every day. But yes, we did have in Venezuela, before all these political problems, we had a lot of museums and galleries, and also the Venezuelan people was buying in the 90s a lot of Venezuelan artists' work. So yes, we had a market for that that ended maybe 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, since we had all these economic problems in the country.
Well, and if you could speak to me about that from your perspective, what you have had to face as an individual and an artist in the larger context of larger social forces affecting your life without your volition, I guess.
Yes, well, everything, all the things that happened 20 years ago since the Chavismo came to the country affected our lives, of course, but in different ways. As an artist, because we started to lose the galleries and the museums, they became museums for the state, for the government. So they close all the doors for almost all the artists. And the galleries also, with the economic problems, they are very few now. Actually, we had a very important fair that we had every year. That was the Feria Iberoamericana de Arte, and they had to close the doors because all the problems to bring the work, and the galleries from another places couldn't come because of the airplane problems, many kind of problems. So one thing is what affected me as an artist, because the profession suffered
Disappeared
a lot.
almost.
Yeah, we didn't have where to show and where to sell our work. So this was one thing that happened. The other thing, as an individual, of course, because we lost liberty, we lost the freedom of speech. We had a lot of economic problems. We had a lot of problems with electricity, with water, finding food. So as you can see, one thing is your profession, and the other thing is that your everyday life, of course. And also what happened is that the Venezuela people usually didn't have to emigrate to any place. We were very happy living in Venezuela all together, and all my family was there. And of course, since this happened, my nieces had to emigrate, my oldest brother, my friends. So you started to be like a fragmented society, and eventually, after 18 years of that, Hector and I decided to leave and to go to another country.
Oh, 18 years. And how has that process affected your art? I think you alluded a bit to that earlier. And
yes, of course, all the drawings that I started to, actually there are things that I'm looking now, I mean, from the distance, because when I was making all that confusing lines, and I didn't see that at the moment. Now I see the difference between the drawings that I have been making here in the United States and the ones that I make during 10 years in Caracas. And of course you can see the difference. The ones that I make now are more free, and the line is more organized. You can feel that I'm more quiet, that I found tranquility. So the ones that I was making, and actually I can say that for a long time I wasn't drawing. I didn't want to.
No, okay.
So there is a gap in I think that is maybe in 3 years that I have very few drawings in that particular time.
Was that the time you were getting ready to move?
Maybe that we were thinking about and taking the decision. And now I make drawings every day.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I need more.
Oh, yeah.
I have the impetus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say that the art was affected by this process, or that the art somehow helped you through the process?
Both, I guess, because especially in 1 year, in 12, 13, I started to make like mini worlds.
Yeah.
And I started to put all the things, all the lines and all the forms and all the colors in one place, and then closed the line. And I think that I have maybe some of them here. Well, actually all of them are, you see that there is a line that is closing them as if I was saying, this is my world, and nothing is going to touch this. And I don't know if many things are happening outside, but I am going to take care of this particular world that is mind.
Oh, sure, definitely.
Yeah, and actually before that, I was all the drawings were more in the whole place.
Sure, sure.
But since 12, 13 or something, I started to put everything
Yeah, we call that.
in one form,
That is fascinating. We call
closing
that
it.
circling the wagons. Is what that would be.
Exactly.
That's pretty fascinating. And so maybe that part of the process, in and of itself, helped you maybe achieve
Absolutely,
some
it was
peace.
very important for me to do that. Yeah,
Just kind of like a reminder that you should come first, or your safety should come first. 'Cause 18 years, that's a long time to remain in a, unfriendly.
unhealthy
Yeah.
environment.
How were you able to withstand 18 years?
Well, we started to be more at home. We started to be more in the family. We started. I started to make all these drawings, closing my figure.
Wow.
And well, I don't know. Sometimes I ask myself the same question: how I was there for so long, but yeah, it happened like this. I mean, it's not easy to take all your life and move to another place.
That is true. That is
So
true.
you have to think a lot, think about it, and then one day you take the decision.
And that's when the art changes.
Yes.
Well, I'm very happy that you are here among us now.
I am very happy here. This is a wonderful place.
Yeah.
Yes.
And another interesting thing you were talking is about the silence. How does the silence and the space at Azule help you? Or
Here, well, the important thing about the silence is that you lose time. You don't know if what time is it or what day is. It's night or I mean, it's everything has started to be space and light and wind and sound with no the restriction of time. So it has been great to be in a place like that where you just wake up and come here and draw, with no any restriction. It has been beautiful. And the silence is something very important for the body, for yourself. The silence is very important to clear your mind. And
there's people here who have, we've had people from Brooklyn, Orlando, New Orleans, many kind of places that are very noisy places, and they have mixed reactions to the silence. Some people, like you, really relish it, and other people, it kind of spooks them. And so you, as somebody who loves the silence, if you could speak to that a bit more, the kind of silence that an artist from an urban center can have at Azule.
yeah, well, I need the silence for working. I need to be quiet. That's why even in Orlando, I live in an apartment with a big window, and I see cows, and I see little rabbits and dogs. I can see a body of water.
Mm-hmm.
Because we decided that we had to live in a place where we can see nature and not another building. And I guess for people that live in places with a lot of noise, the important thing is to come here and stay more than a week.
Okay.
Because you need some days to understand what is going on here and leave all the noise that you have inside in another place. So if you live in one of these places, you need to come here for more time.
Oh, okay, that's the secret.
I think so, yeah. For me, it wasn't really like that because as I'm telling you, I live in a very quiet place, even inside Orlando.
Right.
But anyway, the silence here is so deep that when I went to Asheville,
Yeah.
I felt that I was in a place with a lot of noise. So it's funny. Yeah. I love this.
That's cool. And
It's very good for me and it's very good for my work.
just get rid of the distractions.
Yes.
And so that adjustment week is just to get oneself used to silence as a source of inspiration as opposed to noise.
Exactly.
And how did you find out about Azule?
I found out in the internet.
Yeah.
Yes, in Res Artists, in one of these, and I started to look around, and I saw the pictures, and I said, this is the place where I want to go.
Very good.
Yeah.
And do you have any final thoughts for me today?
In terms of what I'm doing here in Azule?
Yeah, anything.
Well, I have found here a very special place with a very special woman, that is Camille,
Yes.
with a lot of stories. I think that it's very important for each individual to meet another one with such a beautiful and interesting life, so you can compare and think about taking your life in all the extension that you can take it.
Yeah.
Because Azule is not only a place to come here and work, it's also an experience of life because of the people that you find here. And also, I was telling my husband that Azule is not the outside but the inside.
Oh, sure.
And this is a place with a lot of details. This is a place with a lot of corners and hidden places.
Hidden places, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, it was not only important to be here and produce drawings, but also to discover all the places and take pictures, all the details, and it's a very mysterious house because when you are in a place, you think that you are in a place, but you are in another one.
Oh, right. Like this hallway right here.
Yes,
Yeah.
And then you discover another place that you have been before, and then it's it's amazing.
Yeah.
There are things to open and to close, and then you go to another one. It's like a labyrinth,
Labyrinth. Oh, yeah.
So it's more important the inside than the outside. Even the outside is beautiful, and all the trees and the architecture of the house and everything, but the inside is amazing. I think that I'm going to leave from here without going to all the different corners of places.
Right.
Yeah, because there is too much.
Too much, yeah.
Yeah.
And have you even been up to the barn and everything?
No.
No, right? Yeah.
No. I have to do that.
Yeah.
I think that I'm going to take a day for that, maybe tomorrow or Saturday, which is my last day.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow I will walk around because I haven't done this.
And there's even like a trail that goes up and everything.
Yes, I have to go. I have to do that.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Gisela.
Thanks to you. Thank you.